It's an open question without wrong answer. So I'm curious, and I like to talk. I don't like speeches. I like much more the workshop style conversations to think together. And if you put something inside, you can bring out something if you put something inside. So, thematic games. Which kind of theme do you prefer? Agricola as a thematic game, okay.
You like potatoes.
Yeah, and breeding animals. Okay. Which kind of experience do you like? Crush the opponents. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the honesty. Story? Uh-huh. Long story, short story. Which kind of story do you like?
Personally, I like longer stories. Maybe the ones you create with the other players.
For example?
So, I don't know, maybe some role-playing aspects.
Thank you.
When your actions have direct impact on other players.
Like take that. Take that.
Yeah.
It's instant. If my actions instantly affect the other players.
Or maybe something more general, like the experience of learning something new.
My job or my profession is to search what is fun. What fun can be. What can be fun. To use a little hole to look inside, or detonating something, or be quick, or do unusual things with usual stuff, or what can be fun, and to work together with other players in different ways. So as a board game designer, I try to figure out what is fun, what can be fun to play with other players. Maybe a good question can be fun. These games called again, which is yes. It's about questions, tricky questions. Do you push the elevator's button more times or just one?
Sometimes more.
Sometimes more, if you're in a rush.
Yes, if you're in a rush, yeah.
Or do you have more keys in your key storage than you have usually use?
Yes. I don't know if some of them what doors they open. I don't think I have the doors anymore.
So I think all the board games have got one idea, which is kind of seed, where the board game tree grows up. The seed of again, it's a regular question. And with the game club, we thought to make victory points into the game, it be more fun. But after around 6-7 years that was published, 9 of 10 people don't use victory points. Nobody uses victory points. 10 people from 10 about this game never use victory points. Nobody. It was terrible to work around 1 year how the victory points should have worked. But nobody used victory points. So it's really based on questions.
And does the game still have victory points?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I don't know.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. Games like Just One, Chalk Egg,
Chalk egg.
or Imagine. I don't use victory points in them. I don't.
Or like Dixit. I really don't care where my rabbit is. I don't care how many victory points I have. I just would like to work with pictures, paintings. A painting can be a mechanism. Dixit released as a beautiness, as a mechanism in the game. I think it's really interesting. As a designer, I start in 2 different ways: theme first or mechanic first. Theme first, then I would like to tell a story. Like Prince Wins, it's a cooperative board game in a running competition when we all together have to lose.
Okay.
Because the prince, the king's little son, running with us, and the prince have to win. Because somebody else wins, we lose. So the prince have to win because this is the boss, the little son, and that's the story. And I was thinking as a designer, which mechanism will help me to tell this story. And I picked a programming mechanism because I think this is fun. But if I give this game to Bruno Catala or Torti David, he will use different mechanism to tell this story. So this is only one option to tell this story. A lot of designers use a different way to tell this story. Or agriculture. That's a kind of theme, I guess. Lifestyle, and different designers use different mechanisms to tell this story. What's inside this huge word? As a mechanism, first was spicy. I wanted to give cards to the players, and all the cards in the very first version was unique. There was only one card from each type. One chili, one salt or pepper, two, only one. And if you put a card, and if someone else put a card and said something that this is in your hand, this absolutely 100% sure that is a lie. But there is no fun if I can make 100% sure as a lie and as catch him. So I have to tell what's the wrong with the card. And that's the only very little seed which started the spicy. And after the engineering work, fejlesztés, how to translate fejlesztés? Development, thank you. As a developing work, which was around 2 years long. 2 years long. 2 years long. 2 years long. So much longer than I thought with a small card game. How to make this little mechanic idea fun. And that we have to release the main idea that all the cards have to be unique. In this version, there are 3 cards of each type. So there are 3 chili 2s in a card, because it makes much more fun. So around 95% developing work and only 5% design work. This is very, very unbalanced, seems unbalanced, but without that 5% design work, there is nothing. But the main work is to test that game. So as a board game designer, I've got a hint to make a prototype as soon as you can. To play with your game, to make conversation with your game, try to test it, try to figure out how it works. How do you feel with your own game?
When you start a game, when you start playing it, at first, do you play it alone?
Spicy, which is a bluffing game, it's a quite schizoid to play alone. A lot of Euro games is able to play alone.
Well, start like that.
Move like a player A and move like a player B. But party games, it's really hard to test alone. My very first test is a pillowed test, what I called, with my friends. And they can tell me very poorly, Zoltán, it's a great idea, but it won't work. So my very first step is to make a moquette, prototype. Something, little papers with scratch on it to play, because only 90% of board game design is playing with your game. But before you play your game, I've got a very, very important tip and hint from great masters of designing to play a lot with everything, not only with board games. Play. Try to figure out what is fun. What can be fun? Is it fun to don't step on the line? It can be fun. Or what else can be fun? To rotate gears. Tolkien. It's fun, and the game gives me that fun to round by round to rotate the huge gears. Whoa, whoa, and something's changing. That is fun. That can make a game unique. Or one of my favorite games is Pictures. Do you know Pictures? It was a Spiel des Jahres winner game. Oh. One of the ugliest game I ever seen. That box is terrible, but what the players do in the game is unique. You feel something unique you never did before, with stones and different kind of shapes and cubes do something, and you feel it's like the Mind game, game called Mind. It also cut the players in half. Some people love it, and a lot of people very don't like it. But it's I think it's very good because it's unique. It's something. I always try to thinking in Hungarian. It's really hard to translate in English. hogy egyénisége van. Hogy very unique personality. So like persons, if a person is very unique or very personality type, it will split the audience in half. So someone will like it and someone will don't. And I really love these very unique games, which can cut half the audience. Yes. So my hint is to play a lot. If you are interested in designing board games, you have to play a lot. First of all, to figure out what is fun to you, and after that, you earn knowledge. In board game design, we never try to make new mechanism. Never. Don't try to make that never been before. You try to make combinations of already existed mechanism, like the cook. If you're cooking, you don't try to make a new taste or new ease. That ease. A new, because all the tastes was already exist, and you try to figure out unique combinations. All the games, or in parts, there was before, but in this combination was unique. And if you think you have got something very new idea but never done before, it can 99% in it already exists, but you don't know, and you didn't play that game before, or it won't work, and you didn't test it well. So don't try to invent a new mechanism. Just play a lot and combine what you like. Or combine not board game something into the board game. Use a unique tool. Use a unique something what was not in board games before, like gears. Okay. I'm really open about questions. I have no idea what's the time.
We have time.
Okay.
Do you sometimes start from the game mechanics and then you try to attach a team to it, or do you start from the team and then you try to see which game mechanics work for you?
Thank you. Both. Sometimes I start with mechanic. Sometimes I thinking about story. One of my story what I'm really interested in, and I like to make a board game about it. Did you hear about the Potemkin village? Potemkin village. It's a very poor village. It was maybe in Russia, and I don't know. And there was a group looking what's going on in Potemkin village, and they were so poor. They had nothing, and they brought the house and all the stuff where the group is walking around. And they tried to show us we are quite rich, but they was poor, and they try to show we are rich because we have got a golden bath and we have got beautiful windows, but they have got only one piece of everything, and they brought house by house all the stuff. And my idea is a little village get a lot of money for the European Union. They sell out for corruption, and if the European Union ellenőrzés. Tessék? Investigation comes in. Okay, where's my money? Here's the money, and here's the money, and here's the money. That's the story. And right now, I don't have what is the mechanism what can help me to tell this story. Or I've got a mechanic idea to all the players give victory points for the other players all the time, and try to make balance between players. If I only give the player to the other players, how can the game work? And I have got 17 options. What show me what and I've got 17 options which wasn't worked before, and it didn't work, but I don't give up. So both Mind Clash games, it's very good with start with an idea and balance between theme and mechanic, and keep the balance is quite important nowadays. One of my favorite game was Hoop. Do you know Hoop? It's a cat in a blanket. Boop, boop, boop,
Wow,
boop, boop.
yes, we know
In Hungary, it
I
was
love
Hoop.
it, yeah.
It's an absolutely abstract strategy game with a theme,
Yes.
because it's a cat-style abstract strategy game. So like a very, very dry abstract game also have a little theme in it. And that's what I'm looking for. There is no theme without mechanism, and then there is no mechanism without theme. Except Reneknitia, but it's another story.
So restrictions usually breed creativity. Board games are already very restricted to what you can do because everything needs to be physical. Have you ever thought of maybe adding an extra step, maybe just limiting yourself to in a certain way, like let's say you want your game to be a certain amount of time or take a certain amount of times and design around that?
I'm afraid I didn't catch the real question. Would you please?
I mean, how should I rephrase this? Have you tried to have forced restrictions on a game during the design process? Like, you would say, I only want this game to last a certain amount of minutes, and then try to design the game in such a way that it fits that restriction.
I design mostly family or party games with around half an hour. So my goal is to keep the game between half an hour, around or less than half an hour. Because it's cheaper, and the cheaper game can go much more customer. So around half an hour. But if you play it again or Belső Galaxis, Inner Galaxy, it's a long game because it makes conversations.
Okay.
And this can be around 15 minutes from 2 6 hours.
Okay.
Up to the players, because it's open team. Yeah. It's up to you. If you are really open to make conversations and you tell your inner galaxy what's inside you, it can be open. Also the yes, it's around. If you play straight, it's half an hour. But if you play in a really deep way, it's several hours. Inner Galaxy, it's a cooperation with psychológus. Psychologist. Krista Barch is an adult psychologist and working with adult people because I've got another game with another person who is a child psychologist, but this is for adults. To play this game, you have to start the game with küldetés. Mission, of course. So you have to tell what's your mission in the game. Why do you play this game? Because you have got a problem with your father or your neighbors or about your buddy or something, and to open it with other players. And I think, as a board game designer, a winning condition can be very unuseful to do this game. So you can't win this game. And for me, it's really important to, you don't have to win all the games. This game is without winning condition. But it's important to start the game with a mission, what you're looking for in the planet, which is in the game. So I try to make short and compact games, but sometimes it won't work. Thank you. Thanks for the question.
I will ask you the same question, but a bit differently. Did you ever try to make a game with, let's say, 18 cards?
Yeah.
You know, limiting the number of components.
Mhm.
You say, okay, this is what I do, what I want to do, 18 cards.
Yes, I've got a game with exactly 18 cards, and it don't need a table. So my idea, it's a mechanic first card game, to make a card game without table. So all the cards in the player's hands, and they change the cards. It's in a different draft, and in this game it's quite boring and dry right now. So maybe the question for the producer it's not why we don't need a table. Why do you want to play this game on a railway station or in a boat or why you don't have a table to play it? So maybe.
But your first intention was to create a game without a table.
Yes.
Okay.
I was curious to make a game without a table.
Well, there is one, Twister.
You need the floor.
Yeah.
Shotron.
Yeah, there's a game. It's a paper, scissors, stone.
Yeah.
It's also, or Barcobo.
So you want a game that usually is played on a table, which doesn't require a table.
It don't need we don't put the card down from your hand. So theoretically, you can play this game in a metro or underground. But why would you like to play a board game, a card game, on a tram or in a car ride? I don't know.
But this game isn't launched.
No. I think if I will like this game, I will put into the print and play version to download, play, have fun. Because with 18 cards, it's maybe it will be a gift, and it was a challenge for myself to play this ad a little bit more. But as a thought, as a producer thought, ez a produceri ötlet, hogy idea from a producer, let's make a card game without a table, but it's not why. It's not. I think it's not very good idea. It's make a game with an application with a phone. It's a working idea, but without a table, I think right now it's not. We'll see.
I like the idea.
Really?
Yes, I like the idea because you have a gimmick. There are a lot of card games. It's nice to know that this one is different.
But
It should be fun. I don't know
But
if
I
it's fun
think
yet.
if you have got an idea to play a game, it will be around your friends and with a table. So if you're traveling or if you do something really else, you won't have that idea. I'm driving a car. Let's try to play.
I play Dark Stories in the car.
In the car.
We
right?
play it in the car. We play it in the car. I have it in my car, and on long roads we play it.
It's cool.
We play it and it works in the car because the
It works
driver
with
doesn't
only
need.
one card.
Yes, it's only one card, and the driver doesn't need to be the storyteller. So it works in the car, and I think it's nice to have it in the car. And I use that to tell people that this game works in the car.
Okay.
Next
Okay.
challenge, design a game that can be played in 2 cards.
2 cards.
In the bus.
In the pandemia, 4 years before, 4 years ago, it was a challenge to make board games, what you can use a webcam. That was a challenge for the designer to make board games, and rolling realms from Stonemeyer Games It's developed to this situation that I can play with you. I've got a computer with a webcam, and we can play both.
Okay, other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Going back to the fun. Sorry. Going back to the fun part that you mentioned, what is fun and so on. I don't know why.
He's having fun. He's having fun, yeah.
I have a question regarding when you start designing and so on. Because I'm not sure that you mentioned that. Are you starting to design a game which will be fun for you, or you are thinking rather for the people that you're designing the game for?
Bruno Catala, one of my favorite designer, teaches he always making games which he likes, only for himself. And Christian Grecu is a Hungarian writer, tells that he's a writer, and his very first reader is himself. So first you make you design game for yourself, always for yourself, and I think you cannot continue if you don't like it. Yep. So you have to like it to continue, to fall in love, to be motivated to continue. If this is true, what else can be true? How to continue, how to help this little baby or this little seed to grow up. So I think all the designers making games for themselves. But sometimes it's growing in a different way than you thought before. So maybe more aggressive or more challenging or more dry or all the games are growing in different way. One of my most interesting games, it was developed by released by Reflex Shop, is in tricky waters. It's much more a conflict game than I thought before, and I was surprised that whoa! I started to make something, and the game tells me that I'm so much more tricky than I thought before. There's a game which is called Csendapu Kertje, is a Mr. Silence Garden. My main idea was if you do anything, you get something. Every move gives you something, all the moves, and try to get much more things at the level, and the garden is growing, and different kind of tokens come up, and you can collect these. But everything you do, it's about getting something. That was the mechanic. That was the core idea. And the core loop was a game. You're moving around the garden, and after each move, you get something.
You had the question.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to ask, how far along the game do you decide for how many players you want the game to be?
2 to 4. That's the basic, and after we'll see.
So you always start from 2 to 4 and afterwards.
Yes, sometimes I have to release that idea. Like Lamageddon game. Lamageddon is a voting game. It won't work with 2. So in the starting stone, I know that if we vote, it won't work with 2 player. I vote for you.
It will be a tie. It will be a tie.
The whole game is both tie.
But if only one player counts the votes,
Yep.
they both vote, but only one of them counts the vote, it will work.
Mostly, I design games for 2, and with the publisher, we expand this player number higher. So the Csendapu Kertje was for 2 players. The Moody Waters, Tricky Waters were also for 2 players. And the publisher said with 3, 4, 5, 6 or solo mode, it's much more rentable.
They sell more. Yeah.
You can sell more.
How long did it take for you to get your first game published, and how was it?
Years. Very, very long years. But when my very first game, Igen, was published, I was so happy. And I thought that I worked with that so much, and only the Hungarian word, nagyon megbecsültem. Tehát hogy nagyon I was so appreciated. So sometimes I'm really mad if a board game designer very first game come up quite easy, and it's, oh, it was nothing. You know what? So sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's harder. But right now, I've got a lot of appreciation about all my games when these are published, because it's not natural to publish a board game. Sometimes it's so hard. And I'm teaching how to make board games, and there are around 200 people who try to publish a board game, and I know how hard it is, and I'm really appreciated about how big thing is if you can finish something and you can publish a game. So, but between my very first idea when I published my first game, it was 4 or 5 years. A lot of patience. A lot of patience.
Which is your most successful game?
Tricky question, because in which way?
Fine. Number of copies sold.
Number of copies, spicy.
Spicy.
Around 300,000 worldwide.
Whoa.
Nice. Yeah. A small game, small card
Yeah,
game.
I think it's the only one that's available in Romanian. Spicy, I think it's the only one.
I think so. Yeah. Right now.
And you can buy it if you don't have spicy. You can buy it. And these are also for sale. All of them.
Spicy was 4 years. I showed the very first idea, very first copy to Game Club. They liked it. It was around half year. Decide, yes, we like. It was half year, and after half year, after decided we like this game, they showed the Heidelberg publisher in Germany, and they needed 1 year to say yes, we like as well, because they get around 500 games each year to decide what they like and what they don't, and after they tried 500 ideas, and they decided, okay, we would like to work with spicy. And after 1.5 years, another 1 year to develop, to communicate. One of my favorite Zoom speech was with Zoltán Győri and Heiko from Heidelberg, because Heiko can speak English and German, Zoltán Győri can speak German and Hungarian, and I can speak Hungarian and English. So there was no common language within this conversation.
Paper, scissors, rock.
Yeah. and now somebody tried to translate for the other what's going on. So it was quite long, one year. And after that, we have got a very good year. All the members like it. And after that, okay, let's make a product. It's another profession, how to make a sexy product. And that was also 1 year to find South Korean illustrator, and it needed 1 year to paint these cats, and we needed to make a really good, very hard decision. Okay, I know it will be very interesting. What the? So what's going on with this kind of animal? And 6 or 7 years ago, it wasn't so easy to choose this design, because it's shining and weird cats with I have no idea how to translate this. A toknya nyál összefolyik. If you're very tired and you get a lot of problems, your nose is not bleeding if you're ill and if you get a flu.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what's going on in this picture. So
Okay.
if you taste so much spice,
but it's also a tear.
Tears,
yeah.
and all
And
the
fire
cuts
from the mouth.
main problem. So it's very harsh. It's very unique something. And with this, I didn't vote it. I didn't vote it. I have. It was illustrated by Yimin Kim. I have no idea he or she. I never met this person. Yimin Kim.
Yes, we have the game Kill Kim now. We don't.
It's not him.
Maybe
Please don't.
Maybe another Kim.
He or she made a good job, so please don't kill Kim. So long month and years. So you need a lot of patience. it's for me. This is the hour of honesty. I don't like this game so much because I can remember these very long months. Please answer. Please do something. Let some. This was one of my very first ideas. And after that, after this game, I started thinking about Yes, and the Yes game published earlier than this. So I don't want to change. I'm really glad, and I appreciated that it is published, but it was very hard, very hard. And after that, another question for the designer: how to continue? Because a successful and very well sold game have to continue. Okay, how? How to make a spicy dice game? How to make a spicy legacy game? How to make a spicy cooperative game? How to make a spicy hot, more interesting game? All these ways are very interesting and very hard. Also,
But you have another. You have sweet and spicy. The other one.
yeah, sweet spicy for kids. For a little bit later, there are no huge changes. I love these changes. It was a. I tried to design a spicy hot version with a card which knows everything.
Yes.
And they said for a hot version it won't work, and it will work for the kids version to escape card. If the situation is hot, you can escape. Okay, everything's fine with the card. Only once per game. I think it's interesting, and in the developing phase, we started thinking it's better for the kids version, not for the hot version. And for the hot version, we tried to make another game.
If you would have done it now, spicy, the first game, would you have done it with that card in the base game?
No.
Okay.
No. In this game, is standing. Every card can be beaten.
Yes.
All the cards can be wrong in different way, and you've got a little strategy. You've got a half joker card where to when to put it down. As a dice game, it's hard not to be Bosch. Do you know Bosch? It's a lying dice rolling game, and all the Bosch. It's a dice kind of like
Perudo, yeah.
maybe. You roll dice and you say something and the other
liar's dice, Perudo. Liar's dice.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's I think the very deeper part of how to design a board game, about what you feel, what you experienced. Because my version right now about the spicy dice is too similar to Perudo. The taste, the experience level is not as different that we need. So the spicy for the classic bluffing game, it's for playing the game, what you feel as a gamer, as a player, it's quite different than the classic laying games. And that's what we're looking for. The components it can be the same, but how you feel yourself in a game, what you can do have to be different. And right now, my version as a spicy dice game is not as unique, not as far from the Perudo experience.
I wanted to ask this: how many changes do you need to consider it a different game?
That's the question.
Yes. Oh, okay. So it's still an open question.
It have to be scalable to 6 players, around half an hour, and not as much components. It have to be the same spicy, but not.
Now you're talking about the dice game.
Yeah,
you have it in development.
Yes, in the development phase, and sometimes the development phase drop me back to the design phase. And if I've got a design idea, we started to develop a spicy hot version. We have got 3 options, which one to pick to be the spicy hot. It's hard and very slow.
And on how many games are you working at a time?
Around 16, but they are in different levels.
Yes, different levels.
Mm.
I have another short question regarding spicy now. Because now I saw a trend that some like small card games or so on, they are coming not anymore with really expansion boxes and so on. They're coming with those card packs, promo packs, like in Magic and so on, like booster packs and so on, where you thinking, or was it an idea maybe to make an extension for spicy just with those challenge cards? Because something else I don't think you can extend on, right?
What's the question?
If you were thinking about making this type of a promo pack or booster pack, like doing with challenge cards as an extension, because the challenge cards, I think there can be more.
Yeah, I'm still keep in touch with Haiku. If I got an idea, they write it down. They try to test it or developing it. They have got an idea. They send me to test it. So it's all work in progress.
Okay, so there is possibility.
Yeah. For a card game, they don't think extension or expansion will be good.
That's what I'm asking.
So
I saw the trend with those booster packs, not anymore a box.
No,
But extension,
no.
Just find more cards with something specific for the game, and maybe.
I think these are promo category.
Yeah.
How many games are you currently working on?
Around 16, but in different levels. Some of them are just an idea. Some of them is on the not press, but in the printing phase, and hopefully it will publish this year. But we'll see.
We don't have much from this year left.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will be much more happier than this game arrived in early September, because right now it's Christmas. Do you feel Christmas? Because
We see the snow outside.
Yep.
Where do new game mechanics come from? So there are a lot of game mechanics. You said that it's not a good idea to try to invent a new game mechanic, but there must have been a time when there were fewer game mechanics. Where do they come from? Or is it possible? Is it still possible today to invent
Yes.
something new?
By mistake.
How Mancala was invented, or how Mancala mechanism was invented, or how Go core mechanic was invented, or how. I think it's a very philosophical question. How René Knizia invented a very interesting mechanism that your current victory points is the resources what you collect, and how much is the less. This is your victory point.
Less of a kind.
You collect a lot of a lot of resources in a samurai on Tigris and Euphrates game, and how much you the less collected number is your victory number. The highest lowest.
Yeah.
This is a mechanic idea, or the follow mechanic from Puerto Rico. I choose an action, and all the players follow me to do that action. But if I pick an action, I will do this with a bonus. That's an idea. Or to build a deck. So I don't have a succeeded deck, and I can build it and unbuild it. I have no idea where they come from. I think they are arrived not to be new. The designer tried to make something, and after that, the community and the critics said, "Oh, this is new." They didn't try to make new, make something new.
As far as I know, for example, in Catan, the mechanic that every round you have the chance to get some resources, that was the new game. This is why Catan is so popular today.
Part of the.
I think.
Play your turn, and it's
But-
not only you who gets something, but everybody might get something.
I think we can talk about Catan. I'm thinking so much why Catan is very, very famous, because I think Catan is a party game.
Okay.
The player interaction helps the Catan to survive these years, and a very open open market, and I can trade with another player, and I can play with you. And if you don't like to trade with me, it will be a different game.
But the fact that when you roll the dice, everybody gets a chance to get something about his head, it makes you pay attention on other players' turns. You're always involved, and that I think that helps a lot. because it's not a multiplayer solitaire. Because if you're not paying attention, you lose a resource. Maybe you don't get that ship you need, because you would have gotten it, but you didn't see that you had it. And
This type of mechanics must have been invented.
sometimes I'm not sure it was with Catan.
Like El Grande, El Grande from
Wolfgang Kramer.
Wolfgang Kramer was one of the very first game to show the players how much victory points they have, how many big victory points they have, and this is what you mentioned, because to make it clear how many points you have.
I didn't know that's so new. Well, Grande, if I'm not mistaken, it's 96 or something.
96.
96, yeah.
So before
Catan is 95. Was launched in 95. Catan and 94, 95, yeah. 95 got Spiel des Jahres. Yeah.
It was necessary because in El Grande you can earn so much victory points. In Catan it's around 7, 10, 13, not as much to count, but El Grande it was necessary to make this information open.
We thought that I thought that victory points track was there from the beginning of time.
No,
Dinosaurs and victory point tracks.
It was an idea from somebody to make this clear. So maybe before Carcassonne, there was options how to make
Maps.
the maps
The board.
not printed. I'm sorry. Yeah, modular games like Tikal. The Tikal, there's a table, but you can put the hexes in different ways. And after that, Closing and Brother said, we don't need the table. We need only the tiles.
Tikal, I think it's a little older than Carcassonne or something. The same.
One year older, but what's in the air that we don't need a table.
Yeah.
We can build something unusual. Nowadays, if you use tiles, it was an idea. Yes, it was an idea. So in that age, somebody have to give this fun to the players. So we needed a designer who have to catch. It can be a fun to just build something in the table.
Time to time, new mechanics still pop up.
Yes, but deck building
Yes.
wasn't a thing before Dominion. It was there, it existed, but it wasn't popular at all. Deck building it got popular with Dominion.
Yes.
It existed before, but it wasn't popular at all. It didn't matter.
Like the critics said that the very first worker placement game was Kylos.
Yes.
I
I think so,
very early. You put a worker, and we will activate this worker in a line.
Yeah.
And it's important where to put your worker, which is activated earlier or later. This is important. And I think William Mattia didn't wanted to invent the worker placement. He wanted to make an interesting game where you put workers. And after that, the knowledge. Wow! It's a new mechanism. It's a worker placement. Okay.
But worker placement is somehow like action selection.
Yeah. It's an
action
open
selection.
draft.
Yes.
A closed draft is a 7 wonders. You pick a card, and maybe but mostly I don't know which cards you have. But if you put this down to the table, all the pool, it's kind of action selection, like a worker placement in Agricola or in Caverna. I draft a position what you can use. Question.
Regarding the mechanics, you know that on illustrations there is copyright. On mechanics there is also copyright.
Gray zone. Gray zone. The feel of the game have to be unique. What you feel.
Something very personal.
Yes.
The mechanic is something very specific.
Uh,
I don't know, it could be copyrighted somehow.
No, not really. Not really.
when I show the very first version of the Prince Wins to Game Club, they said it's a unique and funny idea. It works, but we are really close to the Colt Express. Do you know Colt Express game? It's a programming train burglar game, and as a mechanic programming, we are too close to the Colt Express, and right now the programming mechanism is so popular. We don't have to make another programming game. So the timing is also important. How to steal a mechanism? It's more elegant to variate around 10% or 20% a little bit. So, for example, if I see roll and move, doboképek, roll and move game, I need something special, a small something. Like I've got a game, cégépítők, how to manage and build a company. It's a roll and move game, but you roll 3 dice. You roll 3 dice, one for collect resource, one for focus, and one for move. It's a roll and move game, but you can choose which dice you use for moving. It's a very common mechanism, but I needed to turn something, make complicated. Or Stefan-Feld Merlin. It also use a little part. There's a huge combination of mechanism. This game, Merlin, you know, Queen game is Merlin. Yeah. Going around the table, and there's a small part of it. It's a roll and move, or the Luxor from Stefan Dora, not from Stefan Dora. Luxor. It's also for Queen games. There's also a short dice rolling, and after move your pawn in the game. So I need something unique in this manner. As a publisher, I won't publish a game which Control-C, Control-V, copy-paste from another magazine. I need something variation.
I think we have time only for one more question. So.
Do you see differences between the Hungarian board game market and the international board game market? And if so, do you normally focus which one?
What international market means?
Teams that are more popular at the international level that you see also do well in the US, they do well in Germany. And if you see a difference between that and
do you have the market in mind when you design?
No.
That's the second question. If you see a difference between these, then do you have do you focus on one of them?
I focus on games what I'm interested in, what I'm curious. And I usually design family or party games, because in Hungary, family or party games are these are the most rentable category. I heard a very funny hint: make board games which are TikTok compatible. You can talk and TikTok. What is this? So nowadays we are moving to shorter, make an impulse. What is this? And to design a board game, but you can tell in one sentence, what is it? This will be common, I think, in Hungary and in worldwide. If you would like to sell games for so many people, non-gamers, they have to know in one sentence or in one word or in one effect or one smile, what is this? So if you have to write it down, this is a unique kind of drafting, worker placement style, application using, set collection, agricultural, science fiction Star Wars game. Blah, 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 blah. They need, okay, it's kind of a throwing game. In this game, you will throw something. And I would like to make board games in the middle of these two category. So you can tell in one sentence about this. What are these? Game with questions. Cooperative game, you try to lose. Try to drop all your cards at many needs necessary. Or you have to tell one sentence. So the international board game design, it's also going to quite simple. And make the non-gamers to play more complicated games. And I think the Spiel des Jahres prize is also working how to collect new players to the hobby. I think.
Okay.
I think.
So I think our time. I don't know. Do you want 5 more minutes or so? Okay. Okay. We'll. Do you have a question? I don't have a question. Okay. Okay.
We spoke about the katana literally.
Mm-hmm.
In Catan there's a very nice, let's not say mechanism, but emergent feature
Mm-hmm.
out of the whole dynamics, which is sort of a unregulated catch-up the leader mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
When someone is getting close to the
Mm-hmm.
leader, playing
Mm-hmm.
sort of game against
I won market with a player who is almost win the game. Mhm.
then there's a lot of games that incorporate this intentionally with like specific features designed to do this. Do you think that's something that's worth having? It is sometimes a must.
It's up to who is the player that we are making game for.
I mean, this catch up the leader feature to be incorporated.
If you make an engine building game, this is the opposite of the catch-up mechanism. All the engine buildings, if in a halfway, I can figure it out that we can continue, but you win, you build a better engine. As a family game, I need a catch-up or a catch the leader mechanism. One of my favorite catch-up or catch the leader mechanism game is called Yinch. It's an abstract strategy game, putting the rings into the table. Beautiful design, awesome design.
Only
Because
black and white.
Black and white, and you can turn the coins if you move along the ring. You should try it. Beautiful, because to win the game, you have to make yourself weaker. The player who weakened himself or herself first with get back 3 rings from the table, that player wins. So the winning condition is make yourself weaker. And if I going to my goal to win the game, I'm getting weaker and weaker, and helps the other player. And usually, if I have 2 rings and the other player have none, it's a 90% chance that he will win because I'm too weak to do something against it. So the whole game is a beautiful blend.
Which is a very, very elegant design.
Very elegant. If you see the table, it's huge chaos, and we build that chaos and try to figure out what will turn and what will leave.
You also have
Amazing.
that in deck building games in Dominion. If you get cards worth victory points.
Oh, beautiful design.
You also have a chance to have a weaker hand.
I think this is the one of it's an allegory. It's a mirror for the whole life. The money in the game, it helps you to get victory points, but at the end of the game, the money worth nothing. If no victory points, you won't won the game. But if you earn victory points too early, your hand is nothing because there is no coin to buy something new. So the rhythm about the other players, okay, Ollie started to buy victory points. I have to follow him. Okay, we're closer to the game end, and this is the interaction about games to watch out what's going on.
So as in life,
design.
you need to balance.
Yes.
Okay.
One last question.
So you were saying earlier about you asked him when he asked you about successes, like what does he mean by success? What type of successes do you see? How do you measure different types?
Okay, thank you.
If not in numbers, yeah. Good question.
My first, not expansion, second part is the igen end, the zigenés. I was very, very happy that my very first game was sold very well, and they asked me to continue something. and it was a huge success. That way, I heard a call. Okay, let's continue. Yes. So it was a huge success. After 7 years, then the Prince Wings was released. It was a huge success because it was one of my very first design, and I was so happy that it's much more better than the very first version. When I saw the box in my hand, I almost cried. Maybe I cried. That it can happen that a very, very, very old design can be published later on. This is not for gamers. This is for players who like to travel inside themselves with their feelings, with their thoughts, and non-player psychologists come to me and say, thank you so much, because they can use in their practice how to translate it? Tehát a pszichológus üléseken, tehát as a coaching, as a therapy, they can use it very well. It's not the best-selling game that I have, but it's a huge success that a board game can be used in not board game table, and I was so glad. There's another game here called Hoopsie, which is my son's favorite game. One of my favorite game from my design, and for me that I can play a game with my son. It's a huge success that I designed something which my sons enjoy.
Even if you don't publish it.
It's published?
No, even if you didn't publish it.
Even if it's not published.
Yes,
it's published, yeah, thank you. Thanks for buying my game. But if my sons likes it, for me it's a huge success. So I try to be appreciated for all of these success. How many copies sell? Yeah, it's important. It can help me to buy benzene to my car, but but all of these are important for me. Thanks for the question. Thank you so much.
And, I think we finish in a high note after this question. So thank you very much again, and I hope you enjoy our event.
I appreciated the patience about my language grammar. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.